Okay, step one, remove the bumper. From the top of the bumper, you'll have one bolt right there, one bolt right here. Same on the other side. One on the top, one on the bottom. All you gotta do is take your grill off to get to that. Have a series of clips, undo your headlight, your light plug, and it just snaps right out once you take the clips off. There's also two of these on each side, 2 bolts on each side. You can get to that from the wheel well just easy. That's it. Once you have the bumper and the grill removed, you can get to the fun part. Okay, the first step in this process, to loosen the factory tow hooks, I put a very thin washer in between the frame and this first plate. This is the mounting bracket. And just tighten it all back together. That way we can line it up, make sure everything's even. Oh, and I put this all the way down, because it does have a set place where it sits. That angle, that little notch, will sit flush to right here and then go up right here. Alright, so the next step, if you measure from this edge right here to the opposite edge, you have 34 inches exactly. Go ahead. If you measure from the inside, I have 1.75 inches, 1 3/4 inch smaller. That half of that is 5/8. So measure 5/8 from this wall that way. Make your mark with a soapstone. Just tack it on. Once you get it tacked on, just take a look at it, make sure it looks level. And it should. The way I set it up, I drop these all the way to the bottom. So whatever adjustment needs to be made, it can be done after you tack it on in the right place. But that's where it goes tacked on, right there. Once you get it tacked on, you can take it off and finish up the welds. For the next step, you might want to get rid of your headlight. For this process, you just have two number 10 screws. Get your headlight cables out the way, just so you don't burn it while you're tacking this on. This is what this side looked like. In my particular build, this piece didn't line up perfectly with this, so we had to clamp it a little bit at a time to get the bend okay. It did turn out okay though. After you're done with all the tack welds and you got it back off, we welded it together all on the inside. Alright, so now that we have this part all cleaned up, we're going to start on the LED part. In my particular case, with the lights I'm using, I couldn't use the bottom piece. If it fits for you, great, you just lay it down here. This piece, the hanger, you might have to trim it down. I had to cut 1.5 inches off just to have the light right close up to the front. This light on the outside I'm going to have as my Y lights, and these ones over here I'm going to have as my fogs. So these are going to be going straight forward, but these are going to be at the same angle right here, flush with the front. These are the lights I'm using. I'm using some ox beam LEDs, got them on Amazon, pretty good price. Those are the wides. Anyways, that's what we got going on. The last piece that we have on this middle part, on the main bumper assembly, is the part that goes on the top. There's another little frame bracket. I have it bolted to the frame now. I'll show you in a bit. It's gonna go welded to this. This is gonna basically sit on top of it. It's gonna use the factory top frame bolt. I'll show you in a few. Now that we got all the LED brackets welded in, we can get to the winch mount. This is an option. You might not have this on yours. It just goes right there. Weld the heck out of it. Alright, so we got the winch bracket welded in real good. Put a couple passes on it. That's going to hold a lot of weight, remember. Now these guys, I wanted to put these right on the frame bracket. See, I measured it out. You can see it right through the hole. The frame bracket's right there. So the strongest point of pull is exactly where you're going to have this shackle latch. Anyways, it's a bit of a design flaw, because that part with the V goes right under. I mean, we're gonna have to deal with it, but that's about it. Get those lined up good. That's where they go. Got these little magnets at Harbor Freight. I think it cost me like $6 for a pack of 4 of them. They work great for this. That's it. Put a couple passes on this too. Forgot to mention, I don't know how well you can see in the video, but I did grind a bevel into this, so it gets a better weld on it, all the way around to that. All right, so I came across a little bit of a kink. The winch bracket hits this plastic piece right here, so you're gonna either have to remove it or trim it. I'm gonna trim it because I like to have this. This is basically a splash guard or whatever you want to call it. So I'm just gonna trim it. See what I mean? That's what I had to trim out. Just kind of eyeballed it, but also had the little circles and around a little bit. That's perfect though. I'll give the winch a little bit of space to breathe there and there also, with the bolts that go through that. Now, that part right there, that's the upper frame support. I'm gonna tack that on. Same on the other side. Now we're gonna put the wing plates on. These are a little more complicated. You gotta take your time with these. They're not perfectly cut. I mean, perfectly bent, but it should work. I'll show you once it's tacked up. This is what we got. All we did was tack on the wing plates and this support right here. We'll pass the full weld on both sides once we get on the table. And that should be it. Here's the finished product. Just got done with the cleanup. This is what it looks like on the inside. Still a bit messy in here. Needs to be cleaned up. I'll do that tomorrow when I paint it. That's it. All right, here's the final product. I coated it with a Herculiner. It's basically a roll-on, real thick stuff. The only piece I have left is the hook rollers. I'll fix that out. I'll do that after it's dry. The inside first, flipped it to the outside. This is what it looks like. It comes in a kit. It was about $100, but it gives it a good coarse rubberish coating, and it sticks. It sticks good. So to clean it up, they recommend xylene or acetone or some type of alcohol there. I used acetone. That's what I had. Just wiped it down real good after we cleaned it up. Scuffed it up with a paint with a sanding disc. Cleaned it up after that and just rolled it all on. That's it. Okay, just finished mounting the winch. Did not go as smoothly as I would have liked. I'm using a Smittybilt 9,500 pound XRC. As you can see, the factory holes, or the holes that came with removed, did not align correctly. Maybe with a different manufacturer that'd be a different case. Also, let me show you around the backside. There ain't nowhere that light's gonna go. Even if it was a smaller one, I don't see it being 4 inches tall. That light's not gonna go inside. The light's gonna have to be mounted on the outside, which, I mean, it's not a game changer for me. It's mounted right here and right here, but for some people it might. Just keep it in mind, if you want to do a winch setup, you might want to ask for that part not to be cut out. And the other issue is the release lever. It just skims this piece right here. I'm gonna have to grind it, add a little bit more of the coating, but again, not a deal breaker, but there you go. Here's the finished product mounted without the LEDs. I'm gonna worry about that another day. I'm freaking tired. That's pretty much it. Came out great. I love it. I do like how the winch looks, but I also wish they would have taken that bracket off there. That hole wouldn't have been there. There you go. That's the Move bumper, 2010 Chevy Colorado.